kailangan na magkaroon ng permanent knowledge transfer to equip not only the engineers but everyone else. Yeah, so.
Sorry, just very curious now in terms of the technology. Can you cite some more examples on some technologies you're seeing under offshore law?
Right now, what we're using for the Philippines with our existing projects is the LiDARs, the wind assessments, because before it had mast. Ngayon, LiDAR na. Then, we are also looking into, but this is more of the environment, the eDNA. So, we get water samples, and then identify each species. So, we're testing the so, nandun pa siya sa Europe, if you want to bring it here. In terms of the technical, kasi wala pa tayo dun sa pre-development stage pa lang. But we're also looking into other activities like transmission optioneering, the curtailment technologies. But what I can say is now is that, yeah, the latest one is more on the environment side. But hopefully, once the construction phase will happen, we will bring in more technologies aligned to the electrical engineers. So actually, that's why we're very much excited. Kaya nga gusto namin talaga to create a training facility to give knowledge transfer to this to everyone.
I have a follow-up question. Ma'am Joy, so everyone, so mukhang naging environmentalist tayo na tsaka di ba, genetic engineers. Pero for the sake of our engineers na interested mag-venture sa wind, so what do you think is the difference or the challenge from solar to wind para maging experts ang mga engineers natin?
In terms of what we're seeing in the Philippines, kasi geographically, we're very much challenging compared to others. But we don't see, I mean, the only thing that we're saying is for everyone to adapt to the technology is to learn. And for us is to build an academy. If electrical engineers wants to switch. I mean, for me, for example, I'm not an I'm a finance person, but because of my work and also my training, now I'm into environment and socio-economic. You can transition if you're interested, as long as you're interested. But we're saying also that there are electrical engineers na kailangan talaga dito, lalo na yung mga experience sa high voltage. Yun. Kasi right now, correct me if I'm wrong, there are just few people that have the knowledge for high voltage. So that's critical, especially with this kind of big technologies like offshore wind.
For the collector systems and transmission systems. Press, any questions?
My question before is Chester. Earlier you mentioned in terms of policy. So what do you think working with government can be tough, right? So what's one thing that will you see makes sense, process smoother, aside from the elimination of the service fees?
Hirap yan eh.
So
aside from standardization, maybe they could have more allocation for experts. Para we have career development na dina-develop into different sectors and stakeholders. They also improve and they give more emphasis or importance on that department who's handling the solar. Kasi right now, siguro yung ibang sector nila or ibang department, they would allocate lang kung sino na yung nakapwesto doon. So, to help communities then, so they can hire more expert individuals, those that are studying, for example, for solar PV, they could hire, and then it would make more the process more streamlined. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Joyce, streamline the process. So I think, yeah, giving more jobs to experts from wind or solar, renewable.
Thanks, Ms. Chester. So, nagsingin kasi curious lang ako. Gusto ko lang ako yung take yung tatlong speakers natin or panelists. Kasi madalas natin pinag-uusapan sa ngayon is solar, offshore, geothermal. But we all know that renewable din ang nuclear. So, I would just like to ask for your take, why is it hard to implement nuclear dito sa Pilipinas? Aside from the risk, we know there's always a risk kahit anong renewable yan, kahit mapa-solar, mapa-geothermal, mapa-offshore. Aside from the risk and syempre pera, what is your take? Bakit mahirap ma-implement ang nuclear dito sa Pilipinas?
Social stigma. Nuclear bomb. Basically, yun yung pagkaintindi natin. Like there are some technologies right now, not only talking about nuclear, there's also potential, like hydrogen fuel. That there's a social acceptance. There's always a social stigma because they always relate hydrogen to hydrogen bomb. With all these safety features and all the experiences of other countries, particularly on nuclear, I think it's high time that we could recognize that this is something that we could work on. Barring, of course, the availability of capital and all of that. But in terms of technology, that's pretty much mature technology already. So it's more of our adoption and, of course, the social acceptance of such technology.
I think I'll reverse the question. Not concentrating on nuclear, but the question is, why not solar? One thing is because it's cost competitive. Like right now, I think I remember 2015, ang solar panel 48 cents. 48. And then, well, yun yung pricing na, yeah, dollars, sorry. And then now, what, below 10 cents na lang, right? But the technology is improving. Aside from that, cost efficient, it's actually more, but it's more easier to install. The lead time is, I think, shorter than wind. But of course, there's different benefits from wind and solar. And third is, we help social communities to have jobs while we build solar. And then people from those communities can take advantage of the knowledge that they can gain during the project development. And then after that, they could go somewhere else or build their own companies to use that knowledge from solar. So it's cost efficient, the technology is advanced, savings that are real. So the question is not about nuclear, but why not solar now? So,
What's your take?
Masyadong political. Okay, so siguro, ang hirap sagutin. But, siguro isa-summarize ko lang yung sinabi ni Ms. Chester na, yeah, solar is very much cheaper than building a nuclear. Pero sasabihin nila, but nuclear can generate gigawatts, right? But ang issue naman natin sa nuclear is more on, are we ready for the safety issues that we will be encountering? Kasi we can easily say na, oh yeah, nuclear can generate a big amount of electricity. Offshore wind can also do that. It's just the difference, are we prepared to take on, or do we have, kasi ngayon, problem na nga tayo sa streamlining ng standardization. Are we ready to prepare for the safety issues that we will be encountering? So yun lang naman. Take ko.
Truthfully, sa mga nagtatanong nakuha niyo yung mga sagot ng ating panelists. So, Ms. Lizzie, you have another question?
Maybe just one for our three panelist experts for today. No? So for our students and young engineers now, so what advice can you give for those who are interested to take on their career and focus on renewables? Sir.
Go to work. Yeah, just work. I mean, like, because there's so many talks, no doing. Work on it. I'm not an engineer by profession, but I can talk about it because of renewable energy is experiential. You have to experience it. You have to go to work. Because if you just keep on reading and not working, you'll end up nothing. Okay, that's my advice. Work.
For me, like a lot of you right now probably knows about solar, PV, project development and whatnot. But you know what? If we think about the future, we should think about recycling program. So if any of you would like to venture into a new business in the future, you think about it. Because in Southeast Asia, there's no recycling program yet. And it's very important for us because like the solar panels, there's lead content. And that's one program that also the government should focus on.
Lead content.
In Europe, they have recycling program already. But yeah, in Southeast Asia, Philippines, there's none. So for all the future engineers right here, if you study and concentrate on recycling program, you might be one of the experts in the future.
Side comment, press. So, any investors here with the AOK, Ms. Chester? So, Sir Marvin, Ma'am Pao, Joel.
And quick lang siguro, as summarize, continuous learning. Kasi every technology will also, there will be a different invention. So continuously learning, tapos be interested in what you're doing. Renewable energy is really here, so maybe some of this audience will be an inventors, one of the inventors to make energy efficiency more available. So, yun lang naman.
Thank you. So I think we have received some insightful learnings from our panels for today. No, sir, ma'am, what are maybe your last message for our attendees for today's forum?
Okay. I think I would go to the last point that I have. Integration of renewable energy equates to nation building. That's basically it.
Thank you, sir. Any last message for our attendees?
Like nasabi ko na eh. I think two words lang, go sustainable.
Nice. Thank you, ma'am. Any last message?
Yeah, so okay, for us, we really need to believe that the country can go forward with energy transition and also help the country. You are all experts here. Please help the country move the industry don't go out, go in.
Thank you, po.
Okay,
So I think we'll have a time for our questions.